Hello and welcome to the Experiencing Love podcast. I'm your host, Philip Jacks, and I'm really glad that you're here. The event that I've been doing for the past 5 days has come to an end. It was an incredible experience, getting to serve and getting to learn again and again. I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I have in my life. I told myself many times before that I wasn't ready for so many opportunities in my life. When an opportunity used to come up in my life, I used to say that it's not the right time. I'm not ready. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough energy. I now know and understand that the opportunities arise in my life because I'm ready. And yes, it could be true that I don't have the time at that exact moment, or I don't have the money at that exact moment. But what I know that I always have is resourcefulness. I always have the ability to create the time, get the money, have energy. So the reason that the opportunities are in my life is because they're meant to be. They're meant to challenge me. Because when opportunities come up and you see them and you acknowledge them as opportunities, what's on the other side of that opportunity is a gift. You'll feel amazing at the other side of that opportunity. You'll learn at the other side of that opportunity. You can give at the other side of that opportunity. And oftentimes, those opportunities call us to expand our comfort zone. They call us to challenge ourselves. They call us to do something different than we've ever done before, to be bigger than we've ever been before. I didn't learn this lesson until I experienced a lot of trial and error. And not just trial and error, I also experienced a lot of aches and pains in my heart and in my soul, because there were so many experiences that I have that I look back on and I knew that that's what I was called to do in that moment. And I didn't take that step. I had to repeat the struggle that I was going through in that moment until I learned the lesson. I have a life now that's unrecognizable to myself a year ago. I had no clue that I was capable of doing what I've done within this last year until I did it. Especially in this last year, I spent a lot of time learning, growing, trying new things, and saying no to opportunities. But I didn't say no to all of them, because the ones that I said yes to turned out to be some of the most sacred and blessed moments of last year. That's where I learned a lesson. I challenged myself. I stretched myself. I pushed myself. And because of that, I was rewarded with the things that I was looking for. For me, I was always looking for community. I was looking for people. I was looking for support in my life. And it took me challenging myself for, honestly, at least 10 to 12 months until I found the start of my people. I say the start because I'm also acknowledging that I am meeting more and more people. But there was a turning point when I met a group of people that look at me and my dreams and my goals and my visions and my outcomes, and they don't view it with doubt. They view it from a lens of think bigger. They say, that's amazing, and how can you help even more people? How can you create even more? It could be draining at times if you're surrounded by people who doubt you can do what you want to do. And sometimes they don't even realize that they're doubting you. It could be in their facial expressions. It could be in their subtle comments. Sometimes it's blatant. Sometimes they'll tell you, there's no way you can do that. Yeah, but that only happens to those type of people. Do you really think you can do that? I was met with a lot of that. And the more I was around that, the more I doubted myself. It became my internal dialogue. I would sit around and say to myself, can I do that? Is it possible for me to live that way? And I took a huge pivot. At a certain point in my life, I decided, let me try not being around those people as much and just focusing on myself and what I want. And the more I became clear on what I want and what I want to create and how I want to live, I also found that I was attracting people who believed in that as well. I was attracting people in my life that challenged me to be better, to be bigger, to shine brighter. And I know it's going to be like a ladder for the rest of my life, is that we're just going to keep climbing up and building each other up, and we're going to get higher and higher and higher. So I spent this last week at this event around a community that encourages me to grow. And not only do they encourage me to grow, they also don't let me stop at having dreams or having visions. The focus is always, what's next? What's the next step? What's one action you can take right now? Now more so than ever, there are so many people who talk. They talk a big game. They talk about their dreams and what they're going to create. And then they don't do it. They don't do it because they hold themselves back and they don't take action. And this group of people refuses to let that happen. When they interact with people, they don't let the conversation stop at, that's a great goal, that's a great dream. It always ends with an action. What can you do today to get there? What can you do today to just move you 2 millimeters forward? So I spent all of this morning creating about 30 to 45 bullet points of action steps that I can take over the course of the next few weeks to move me forward. And not only will that move me forward, but I also know how to create new action steps after that. And what I love is that even if some things slip through the cracks and I forget and I don't complete certain goals, I know that in the next 6 to 8 months, I will be in that environment again and I will learn what I'm meant to learn again, and I will take the steps that I need to take again. Because it's all about this constant and never-ending improvement. I'm constantly learning and growing and moving forward. So to pivot, what could you do to move a step forward in your life? What's one thing you can do today to get closer to your goals? And you may be in different stages right now. You may be just starting. And so the action step that you need to take is to sit yourself down and to become very clear on where is it you want to go and what is it you want to do. And before you can move forward, you also have to know where you are now. Maybe your first step is becoming clear on where you are. Where are you right now? And I don't mean physically. I mean in the sense of in each area of your life, what does it look like? And it's important here to be honest with yourself. Don't make it better than it really is, but also don't make it worse. In order to move yourself forward, you have to know exactly where you are right now. Become clear on that, and then have some fun with coming up with where you want to go. What are some of the goals that seem big to you right now, that seem out of your reach, that seem like something that might take 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now? Look at those goals, and I promise you, you could do those in less than 10 years. People overestimate what they could do in a year and underestimate what they could do in a decade. So take your big goals, take your massive goals, and start chunking it down. Split them up into easy pieces, and then take those easy pieces and prioritize them. Which one has to happen first? Take that first one and chunk that one down. Break it into tinier pieces and decide of those tiny pieces, which one needs to come first. And keep going until you reach an action step that takes less than 5 minutes to do. Sometimes that can mean opening up a page on a browser, on your phone, on a computer. Maybe that means getting up out of bed and opening up a book. Maybe that means making a phone call and leaving a message if they don't pick up. Find your one action, the one action that takes less than 2 minutes to do. Because if it's something that takes less than 2 minutes, it's easy for you to tell your brain, I'm going to do this right now. Because your brain looks at it and says, oh, it's only 2 minutes. All right, go for it. And after you do that one thing, you could stop there. Or you could acknowledge the momentum that you're building and use that moment to keep going and take the next step and the next. If you make that a daily habit, if you do that every single day, take 1 2-minute action every single day, you will be surprised by the momentum you start to build. You will be surprised by the number of days where you do more than 2 minutes of actions. And you'll be surprised how far you get within the next year, within the next 2, and before you know it, your goals won't be just goals anymore. They'll be results. They'll be in your life. And at that point, you get to create new goals and reach even higher. Do well to challenge yourself today. Do something different. I know you have it in you. And if you ever need any support, reach out. Let's talk. I'd be more than happy and more than driven to help you get what you want in your life. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you.